All right, let's go into the Stormbringer Crystal Jam. All right, so we have the Stormbringer Gacha as well as the Trial Grounds. All right, so let's try the Trial Grounds first, I guess. Yeah, Twizzly, like I said, Twizzly Black Lemonade with Stormbringer is going to make it really easy too, because that's another big combo that you're going to get. All right. The only downside, it seems like Creme Brulee can take a bit of damage here. If you have the Marshmallow Bunny, probably bring Marshmallow Bunny too, man. That damage resist buff, amplify buff, and all that stuff is going to be absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you're going to want to use Holly Berry if you really have Holly Berry, because of the fact that it just makes all of the cookies just tankier and take less damage. As of right now, that's going to be it. Let's go into the Legendary Gacha real quick and see if we can pull a little bit more. I have 7,000 here. Let's just see if we get some of the stuff. I'm not sure if we're going to get anything, but... Alright, let's see if we get... Oh, wow, we do get lucky. We actually pull a Stormbringer. Okay. I guess we take those. Kind of crazy. All right, let's see if that's going to be enough for me to make it into whatever it is. All right, so we have Stormbringer Cookie and the new Crystal Jam. So we have the Ascension effect, obviously. I am not going to get any Ascension effect because my cookie is still at 2-star promotion. So none of these stuff are really going to matter to me or to those ones who don't have it ascended. But it looks like we have crit percentage, crit damage, we have some HP, damage resist, and some attack as well. You know, it's a pretty decent amount. That's a whole topping plus. Alright guys, so before we get back into the video, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is going to be FlexiSpawn and their Lotus Recliner. So to quickly introduce the Lotus Recliner, it is going to be a recliner with relaxation and comfort in mind. So with this super wide seats and armrests, it's going to be comfortable in whichever position you guys are in, allowing you to recline, swivel, and rock back and forth without any effort. And for someone like me, it's perfect to take a short nap or break, or even just go and sit and play the game on my phone, or just relax and edit on the Lotus Recliner. The Lotus Recliner features flexible swivel and rocking mechanism in order to enhance your comfort and to help release stress with a warm embrace. And the beautiful feature about the Lotus Recliner is that you're able to effortlessly extend your legs and recline, which is personally my favorite thing. And because of how spacious this recliner is going to be, it's perfect for someone like me who have a baby, because if I need to take care of my baby, I can do so on the Lotus Recliner without having any problems with a cramped seat. And also, my baby loves it as well. And of course, we can't forget about the concealed storage space where you could place things like your chargers or anything that you need while you guys are resting, as well as an awesome USB port for you to charge your phone or your devices while you guys are nicely resting on the Lotus Recliner. So if you guys would like a super comfortable recliner, then please check out FlexiSpawn using the link down in the description. There are a ton of variety of additional features that are available, and plus you don't want to miss out on FlexiSpawn's Independence Day sale for up to 65% off deals. So don't forget to check it out. And if you guys use the exclusive code LOTUS30, then you're able to get an additional $30 off plus free shipping. Once again, thank you FlexiSpawn for the sponsor, and let's get back into the video. But let's look at the effect over here, guys. So we have Stormbringer's Wrath, still going to be that same 13 seconds. All right, but let's look at the rally effect. All right, so the rally effect is going to be crit percent plus 5% for electricity type cookie upon entering battle, and crit percentage to self 7% for every other electricity type cookies on the team, capped at 28%, because if you have 4 of them, you're gonna have obviously 28%. All right, and then now let's look at the skill effect. The power of the Crystal Jam changes Stormbringer Cookie's skill and amplifies her final hit from Zap to Overcurrent. Before the Heaven Splitter's final strike, it releases a powerful current and deals damage. After the final strike, it deals extra damage by forming a lightning storm. When the crit percentage exceeds a certain amount, Supercharge turns into Ultra Charge, which increases attack and crit damage and maintains all buffs from Supercharge. Stormbringer Cookie's damage resist bypass increases proportionally to the amount of electricity type damage increased by Biscuit. So, Electric Surge damage is going to be 6 hits over 1.5 seconds, and each of them are going to be 16.5% of attack, plus damage equal to 4.6% of max HP for Cookies. Zap damage is going to be 24.7 every 1 second for 5 seconds, and nullifies HP shield. And then Lightning Storm is going to be 4 different hits over 1 second. Damage is going to be 19.1% of attack, plus damage equal to 6.19% of max HP for Cookies. And damage dealt to Cookies is gonna minus 25% for 15 seconds, stacks up to 1 time. And an Ultra Charge, all right, for every 1% of crit over 80%, all right, attack to self is gonna increase by 0.2%, capped at 8%. And crit damage to self is going to increase by 0.5%, capped at 20%. That means you need about 40% extra. That means 120%. All right, and then Stormbringer. All right, damages is bypass 1% per 2% of electricity type damage increase with Biscuit, capped at 15%. All right, at plus 10, you get 15% crit percent debuff resist 25%. Ultra Charge is going to be damage resist plus 20, max HP plus 20, and at 30, Heaven Splitter final damage is going to be 25% of max HP. Electric Surge, true damage equal to 1.9% of max HP per hit, and Lightning Storm is going to be true damage equals to 2.7% of max HP per hit. So we have all that stuff created, boom, and that is going to be level 1. So now let's go into, I don't promote my cookies anymore, guys, and the reason why is because if I have everything maxed out, dude, it just doesn't really help those people who are watching and wanting a actual guide that's close to them. Let's look at this here real quick. Oh, I love the animation. Okay, but you take way too long, my friend. You take way too long. Holy moly, did you see that damage output though? That damage output number is kind of crazy. So we'll try it like this against a Holly. Oh, this is like basically the same thing, except we replace Hollyberry with Stormbringer. We'll see how it goes. Oh, wait. Let me turn the animation off. The animation takes too long. Okay, dude, that... I don't know. Our Stormbringer kind of explodes, man. As it explodes, like actually explodes. Alright, so we have Hollyberry to keep Stormbringer alive now. A little bit longer than, than the others. Alright, now we have the Zap effect still to get rid of any HP shields. Alright, we have the Bunny's effect as well to give that extra damage as its bypass and crit damage for the element. Alright, at this point I do want to just see the damage output. So we got about 5.9 million damage coming out from our Stormbringer. Right. I do want to see how it will work with other electricity type cookies though. I mean, obviously, straight up against like a Shadow Milk Cookie skill, Stormbringer literally explodes either way. Just kind of crazy, but still. Okay, we did win right there. So that's a comp where we were versing a Fire Spirit instead of Stormbringer, and Stormbringer did a pretty decent amount of damage right there too. And while at the same time tanking a lot of hits. I just feel like you just need to make a specific comp. I don't think it's gonna be to a level of Hollyberry. It will be a specific comp like this against like someone like anybody who has an HP shield, right? It's pretty good, right? Anybody who has like pure vanilla in the team. I mean, the Royal Necklace, right? The HP shield. All right, guys. So I did a little bit more testing here, guys, after making my Stormbringer into level 10 to get that extra, crit percentage right over here, as well as crit debuff resist, and it definitely makes Stormbringer a little bit better than my initial testing +7, because that's where I was putting it at. But this team right over here, like I talked about inside of the initial review, is gonna be a counter to something like this, where we do have pure vanilla as the main healer, especially because of the fact that, you know, again, the HP shield and things like that. But there is a catch. You need to make sure that Stormbringer is not going to be taking the hit of Shadow Milk Cookie's skill. So you do need to make sure that you are not using something like the peanut build, because that bumps up Hollyberry's HP a little too much. And then also you just need to make sure you're using something like, you know, Eternal Sugar and Shadow Milk to not have too much HP either, so that Stormbringer, after the buff that you know, she gets, is going to still be higher, so that you're not taking the hit. So if you guys go into this right here, all right, so you're gonna be able to see right over here that Hollyberry uses skill first, and then you're gonna be able to see that Hollyberry is gonna be the first one to take the skill from Shadow Milk Cookie on the enemy team, and then after that it's gonna be Eternal Sugar. If this does not happen, guys, and you don't have enough crit to boost up Stormbringer's HP, then Stormbringer is gonna take Shadow Milk Cookie's skill and absolutely just gonna disappear, which means that you lose out on damage, you lose out on the ways to get rid of those HP shields from like the pure vanilla as well as Marshmallow Bunny. So this is something that you need to really emphasize, alright, in order to make this kind of comp successful enough, alright, so that you are not losing to the pure vanilla comps or any of the comps that you want to try to counter with that HP shield. So just keep that in mind. That is going to not only boost up your damage, but also going to allow Stormbringer to survive. And again, that's why the emphasis on the amount of crit that you have on our toppings, as well as that tart, is going to be really, really important. And I would say right now, after testing, the damage resist bypass for the biscuit is going to be better than going with something like this. I've tested both of them out. The damage resist bypass is just better simply inside of the arena. But as of right now, you know, she is going to be good inside of the arena as a cookie who can counter HP shields and teams like Pure Vanilla Awaken. However, in order to be like that, you know, cookie that you slap on and simply become meta, you're gonna have to get plus 30, because that's just gonna allow you to deal so much damage, right, with that final hit, 25% of max HP, and just blow up cookies. But before that, it's really just going to be harder to use Stormbringer in a regular standard comp, right? And just gonna have to be used against specific comps, you know, like this right over here, to counter those HP shields once again. And then of course you have to emphasize the amount of crit percentage, so that you do have a lot more HP later down the line once you enter the battle. So that's just what I want to let you guys know of after doing some more testing as well. But what I do want to say is, like, what would happen if we made a electric comp, as in like with Blueberry Pie? How will that Blueberry Pie perform here inside of the arena? Yeah, that Hollyberry stun kind of ruins the whole thing for Blueberry Pie. Is there a way for us to keep that Blueberry Pie alive a little bit longer in order to use the skill? I don't know if we're going to be able to use Blueberry Pie as of right now. I guess as of right now, I personally feel like there's going to be a team coming out. Just need to see how it's going to work out. We already know that there's Stormbringer comps out there. Now let's see if Stormbringer Crystal Gem is going to make it better. All right? We'll find out, okay? As we continue to test it.